Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, feel a wonderful sensation of release. Letting go of those feelings of any worries or tension, any stress, any concerns. Just feel that they're leaving your body in that outward breath. As you breathe in a feeling of resourcefulness. And as you exhale, feel a sense of flow as you feel the airflow going through your nose or mouth, leaving your body, accepting the suggestion that any anxiety, stress, or tension is leaving your body, and resourceful feelings of confidence, authenticity, and self-belief is going in on that inward breath. The deeper you breathe, the more resourceful you feel. And the more resourceful you feel, the easier it becomes to feel so relaxed. And I want you to imagine a beautiful garden, large enough to have its own lake. I want you to imagine this large garden, this beautiful, magnificent lake on a sunny day, perhaps in spring or summer. Imagine you're wearing whatever clothing is appropriate to be in that garden next to that lake. Feel that the sunshine is melting away any tension, and feel that as you breathe in, you're breathing in a wonderful feeling of authentic confidence. Because there's a type of confidence which is a false confidence, ego-based confidence. I want you to breathe in authentic confidence, justifiable confidence, the kind of confidence that comes when you're doing the right thing for the right reasons. And as you breathe that in, feel that you're becoming more and more relaxed. And I want you to imagine there's a comfortable chair that gives you a view of the garden and the lake. And I want you to imagine seeing all the different colors of flowers there in that garden. Different species, different sizes, different colors of petals. And I want you to imagine that there are, in such a large garden with a large lake, 400 different insects in this garden, perhaps bees or butterflies. And accept the idea that not every flower is desirable for every insect, but it doesn't need to be. If just a few of those 400 insects find certain species of flower desirable, then there is a positive exchange that takes place. Perhaps you could imagine a butterfly flying to a particular flower, and that butterfly needs the pollen, needs the nectar from that flower. But in exchange, the flower also benefits. Resources are being exchanged where everyone wins. The butterfly benefits from the nectar. The flower benefits from the cross-pollination. But more importantly, the world benefits. Because who would want to live in a world with no flowers? And then imagine seeing someone fishing in the lake. I want you to imagine there are 400 different species of fish there in that lake. And I want you to imagine the fisherman puts a particular type of bait on the hook and casts it into the lake. And that bait doesn't have to appeal to all 400 fish. But some of those 400 fish will find that bait incredibly desirable, to the extent that they will want to seek out that bait. They're not being trapped or tricked. They desire the bait. The hook isn't necessary. They would follow the bait all the way to the shore because it's desirable for that fish. I want you to get a sense. You are the flower to certain bees and butterflies, and you are the bait to certain fish. You don't need to sell so hard, because what you have is incredibly desirable, not to everyone. It doesn't need to be for everyone. A few is more than sufficient. And as you stare into a flower or the lake, I want you to think back to a time when you were authentically confident in communicating an important message. Drift back in time and imagine seeing yourself in that authentically confident way. See how you were breathing, your body posture. And just imagine mimicking that posture that you had back then. If you were breathing slow and steady back then, then breathe slow and steady right now. See that you were in that authentic, confident state of flow. No need to breathe in a shallow way from the chest. You're breathing deeply because when you breathe deeply, your body connects with your most authentic self. I want you to observe just how well you came across. Articulate, confident, authentic and real. And when you're confident that you're seeing a confident version of you, step into that version of you. Feel that you are reliving that experience. Pinch your finger and a thumb together to just feel that you're topping up a trigger of confidence. And then take a long outward breath out to feel that this is now becoming a trigger for flow. As you feel the air flow from your body, feel that you are accessing a flow state. And when you breathe in, feel that you're breathing in exactly the resources that your body needs. You're resourceful, confident, and in a state of flow. And when you feel in a state of flow, your words seem to flow. The right words, in the right order at the right time, seem to just find their way from your unconscious to your conscious, leaving you to the ears of your audience, having an emotional impact. Some decisions are made through logic, but I want you to feel that you're creating an emotional reaction. So as you breathe in and breathe out, find yourself back there looking into that lake or flower, and then imagine perhaps one of the greatest speakers, someone like Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, maybe Churchill, at a time that they were speaking from the heart. Imagine you could go back in time and see them talking in real life. Maybe a famous speech, or maybe not, but see them communicating in that confident, authentic way. See how they use pauses, slow, deliberate tonality and inflections. But more importantly, they're not reading someone else's speech. They're communicating what they believe. And then step into that incredible speaker, feeling that you're harnessing what they have. Maybe they had a talent to communicate, or maybe it was crafted over time. But I want you to feel that you are harnessing that resource in this moment. When you recognize the confidence you feel, squeeze your finger and thumb together and feel that this is topping up your confidence. And when they pause, take that long outward breath and feel that you're accessing their state of flow. And when you breathe back in, feel that you're breathing in exactly the resources necessary. And find yourself traveling back to that comfortable chair next to the lake. And now start to imagine a future presentation. But I want you to see yourself, the way you're preparing for it is seeing yourself optimistic, excited, enthusiastic, preparing well but not overly nervous. And any nerves are thought of as a way to sharpen your mind to do something important. Just one of many ingredients that will lead to this flow state. And then see yourself perhaps walking out onto a stage or platform. But notice that you're doing it in a slow, calm, deliberate way. You come across authentic and confident. The way that you breathe in and breathe out is relaxed. Your hand gestures natural. Imagine being one of the people in the audience. And maybe you're the kind of butterfly that needs the pollen or nectar from that flower. And feel that what you're hearing is generating curiosity, intrigue, enthusiasm, even excitement. That what you're hearing is shifting something inside you to make you want to find out more information, to do something about this, to be a part of a vision or dream that feels powerful and positively impactful. Observe how you are, and then rewind it, and then step into that version of you just about to step out. Pinch your finger and thumb together to access that confidence. Take a long outward breath, and then walk out there feeling that you are authentically confident in a flow state, that you have access to all the words and information that you need, and you're going to enjoy this moment. You're going to have fun with it. Because in a different reality you don't exist, but you exist in this reality, so why not enjoy this moment? Whatever happens will give you something of value. And then feel you're not only delivering your message, but you're building up the next person to talk. The right words come across in an articulate, deliberate, confident way. Stories connect and resonate with the audience. And just imagine that this feels so good that you could imagine doing this more and more often, that would lead to the very things that can have a powerful ripple effect. Just like the flower and the butterfly in the world. What's good for you, it's good for them, it's good for the wider world. And feel that you are the catalyst to make all of this happen. Imagine finishing your talk and leaving perhaps that stage or platform with a sense of not relief, but pride, confidence, a sense of satisfaction that whatever happens, when you do the right things, you're planting seeds that could lead to positive outcomes in the future. And it may be that just one person in that audience likes what you've said, but 3 or 4 months later gives you a phone call or an email that leads to something incredible. That in the big scheme of things, all you're asking for is a droplet from an ocean. I want you to get a sense that this is right for you and right for the world, and that good things are coming your way. So then find yourself back there in that chair, seeing the fisherman not with one fish but many fish, and seeing lots of bees and butterflies around those flowers. That there is a need for certain things to happen, like a lock and a key, each finds the other. It's time to return to the present, but taking all of these wonderful feelings and a sense of optimism and positivity for the future with you. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connecting fully into the present moment as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.